Chapter 1 The New Kid in Town. In a small town, a boy named Jake moved into a new neighborhood. It was the start of a new school year, and Jake was both excited and nervous. On his first day, he met many kids, but one boy, Tom, stood out. Tom was bigger, stronger, and known for being the school bully. As Jake walked down the hallway, he accidentally bumped into Tom, spilling Tom's books onto the floor. Tom glared at Jake.
"Watch where you're going, new kid."
He snarled. Jake quickly apologized, but Tom wasn't satisfied.
"You think you can just walk away?"
Tom sneered, pushing Jake against the locker. Jake felt a knot in his stomach. He had heard stories about Tom, and now he was face to face with him. But Jake wasn't about to let fear take over. He calmly looked Tom in the eye and said,
"I'm sorry for bumping into you. It was an accident. Let me help you with your books."
Tom was taken aback by Jake's calm response. Usually, kids would run or cry, but Jake stood his ground. Chapter 2 The Challenge. Days passed, and Tom kept trying to intimidate Jake. He would trip him in the hallways, knock his lunch tray over, and even spread rumors about him. But Jake didn't react the way Tom expected. Instead of retaliating, Jake focused on his studies and made friends with other kids who had also been bullied by Tom. One day, Tom cornered Jake after school.
"Why don't you fight back? Are you scared?"
Tom taunted, his voice dripping with malice. Jake took a deep breath.
"I'm not scared of you, Tom. I just don't think fighting solves anything. You can keep trying to bully me, but I won't give you the reaction you want."
Tom's anger flared.
"You're just a coward."
He shouted, raising his fist. But before Tom could strike, Jake's friends appeared, standing behind him. They had seen enough of Tom's bullying and decided to stand up for Jake.
"Leave him alone, Tom.
One of them said.
You're outnumbered."
Tom looked around, realizing he was no longer in control. For the first time, he felt a twinge of fear. Chapter 3 The Confrontation. The next day, Jake found a note in his locker. It was from Tom, asking him to meet at the old playground after school. Jake knew this was a trap, but he decided to go anyway. He wanted to end this once and for all. As Jake approached the playground, he saw Tom waiting, along with a few of his cronies. They were smirking, ready to gang up on him.
"You actually showed up."
Tom said, surprised.
"I'm here because I want to talk."
Jake replied, his voice steady.
"Why do you bully people, Tom? What do you get out of it?"
Tom's smirk faltered. No one had ever asked him that before. He clenched his fists, but there was no anger in his eyes, only confusion. Jake continued.
"We don't have to be enemies. You're not alone, Tom. We can be friends if you just give it a chance."
Tom's cronies exchanged confused looks. They had always followed Tom's lead, but now they weren't so sure. Chapter 4 The Resolution. Tom stood there, silent, his mind racing. He had bullied others for so long that he had forgotten why he started in the first place. It wasn't about power or control, it was about fear. Fear of being alone, fear of not fitting in. Suddenly, Tom lowered his fists.
I don't know why I do it.
He admitted quietly.
Maybe I'm just scared too.
Jake nodded, understanding.
You don't have to be scared anymore, Tom. We all have fears, but bullying isn't the answer. We can help each other instead.
Tom looked at Jake and then at his cronies, who seemed uncertain but willing to listen. Slowly, Tom extended his hand.
I'm sorry, Jake, for everything.
Jake smiled and shook Tom's hand.
It's okay. Let's start over.
From that day on, the school became a better place. Tom stopped bullying others and even became friends with Jake and his group. He learned that true strength comes not from hurting others, but from overcoming your fears and helping those around you. Moral lesson: the story teaches that bullying often stems from fear and insecurity. By addressing these fears and showing compassion, even a bully can change and find true friendship.